It's time for a video. What's going on, everybody? I hope that you're ready for another video today. I just want to start off, though, by saying thank you and welcome to everyone who's found the channel. It's really been wild. I've got videos getting into hundreds here. We broke 500 subscribers. Like, really, hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I hope that I keep doing good content that you'll like. I definitely like to know what content you want to see. Definitely want to get to know you, so, leave a comment in the comment section of this channel. What videos have you seen in mine? Where did you find my channel from? Like, I want to learn everything. Let's chat. It's really been wild. 530 subscribers. That's wild. Yeah, broke the 500 mark. And just, I mean, even my thoughts on Epic Games, 98 views on that, and that was just 8 hours ago. This is insane. This is wild. This is unbelievable. Like, y'all are making my day. Thank you so much for that. But, alright, so let's get on into today's video with all that aside. Anytime, click like, and especially please do leave a comment. Definitely want to get to know you. What content of mine do you like? Where did you find my channel? All that. Okay? Alright, so that's out of the way. Let's get into the topic of the day. I'm sure you've seen it in the title. Call of Duty 2020 is in upheaval as Treyarch takes over, plans Black Ops 5. Golly gosh. Alright, so Activision informed developers this week that studios Raven and Sledgehammer, which had until now led the project, will no longer be in charge. Instead, according to 3 people familiar with goings-on at the company, Treyarch will lead development on a new Black Ops for 2020. So, when I heard this earlier, I was kind of like, I was like, all right, the first thing that popped into my head was, now that I've been kind of like looking into games, like, it's still a learning process for me as well, of like kind of like how games are made and what companies do what, and, all this. I've been starting to learn that quite often there's a lot of unknown companies that do work on games. That it's not just like it's one company. There could be a company doing the DLC content. There could be a company working on the multiplayer functionality. There's so much that goes on in these games that it's wild. So when I first read that, I was kind of just like, well, now that I know what I know, like, well, I mean, what's the goal here? Why is it happening? Like, instantly, I start getting concerned, like, is it a bad thing? Like, did Raven and Sledgehammer, do something wrong? What's going on? Like, so I was like, let me start doing some research into these companies, like what they've kind of done. And I know of Sledgehammer. I mean, they're kind of the one of the 3, the main companies, that work on these games. You got, like it shows down here, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, so Sledgehammer would be the next one. So, I mean, they got the Advanced Warhammer, Galley, Warfare, and then World War II there for Sledgehammer. And later I find out what Raven's done in that one, too. So they were making the alternative versions of Call of Duty, I would say, for the past at least 2 iterations here. And granted, Advanced Warfare was poop. I didn't like it at all. But World War II was not horrible. I think it had some nice redeeming factors. It wasn't horrible. So I looked into, though, Raven. I wanted to see, who the heck Raven is. So they were founded in 1990. And then they made an exclusive publishing deal with Activision, in 1997 there. And then I was like, kind of like, well, why would they sell to Activision? Like, I know how, like, kind of works with, like, EA and even Activision. Sometimes they buy out these companies and, like, kind of screw them over and just basically, like, kind of close them down and everything. So I kind of was like, all right, let me look into this and see if I can find out anything more. So I found this from 2010 report, layoffs hit Raven Software focusing on DLC. So in this article here by Shack News, they kind of go into kind of what went on and how Raven's kind of reestablishing themselves. Instead of as like a game making company, they're going to work more on like the assistance side of things. So they'll make the DLC content like maps, which is kind of what they've done. It is possible that Treyarch will be tasked with assisting on the completion of Modern Warfare 3 with what remains of Infinity Ward, while Raven Software handles post-release DLC for Black Ops. Activision would Activision probably doesn't want to miss a holiday season without a new. So, like, this is mentioning, so they're doing, like, the DLCs, and that's way back in Black Ops. And then I was, like, really, like, who the heck is Raven Software? You know, I didn't really know them, so I went to their website. I look at what they've worked on. We got Infinity Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, which has, I remember, like, when I saw it, I remember that there was something up with Modern Warfare Remastered. I did play it on the Twitch stream back in the day, for like one stream, and it felt okay to me, but I must have missed whatever the problem was. But I remember hearing, like, you know, you get that vague memory of, like, oh, there was something about it, though. Like, what was it? I can't remember. You know, so I did try and look into that too. They make Call of Duty Online. This is a big game in China that I found out. Advanced Warfare Ghosts. I mean, they've been working on Call of Duties for a long time. And one of the games I really like, Modern Warfare 3, you know, was possibly one of my, well, I guess Black Ops 2 was my last, like, massive favorite Call of Duty. But Modern Warfare 3, I think, was kind of like, you know, it had already started going down, and then Black Ops 2 was a little bit lower than that. But really, like, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2 were really, I think, the creme de la creme. And, well, they did work on Black Ops. So, you know, they've made a lot of games. Wolfenstein, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I really did like that game back in the day. I believe I played the port on PSP, if there was one. I can't remember. These years ago, I can't remember. And then you go back, and they've got, like, games going all the way back to DOS days and stuff, and the Amiga. You know, this company has been around for a long, long time in the gaming sphere, doing a lot of work. So I was like, all right, well, you know, they've been doing a lot of side work, you know. Maybe, you know, it's not a bad thing that they're getting taken off of this project. You know, Informed Developers this week, Raven and Sledgehammer, which had until now led the project. So this would have been like the first time that they are leading the project. So now it makes me look at it in a little bit more of like, all right, maybe they trust Treyarch a little bit more and kind of, you know, I mean, Treyarch has been making games for a while here. You know, if we're looking at it, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, I mean, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, you know, granted, in my opinion, they've been going downhill with these reiterations and everything, but I don't think it's just them. I think that a lot of it is I don't like the DLCs the majority of the time. I don't like the need to buy a season pass, you know, so it's, you know, some of it's outside of what they could control. And then Black Ops 4, like, I am a fan of the story mode. I do feel that these games should have a story mode. You know, if you're paying $60, normally, in my mind, that means, yeah, okay, you can make a multiplayer, but you gotta make a story mode for $60. If you're just gonna give me a multiplayer, the most I feel I should give you is $40, because that's not a full game in my opinion. Now, granted, yeah, it does take work to make these games, but I'm not the one who decided for them to have a 3-year turnaround on these video games. That's what they decided. And on top of that, they reuse a lot of the same stuff over and over again. You know, so it's not like these games are completely new rehashes every single time they come out. You know, and especially with Black Ops 4, where every single DLC has one old map in it, and the actual release of the game had, what, 3 old maps in it? So, you know, what was really new? Oh, they added the big, you know, Battle Royale mode. Oh, gee, God, it was Blackout mode. Oh, they had the Zombies mode, and they had, like, what, 3-4 maps for that, and there was more coming out with the DLCs. You know, I don't like games as a service because I feel it's hollow and it's drip fed and it's a very high premium of cost on what you're getting, and what you're paying is drastically inflated compared to what you deserve to be getting for that amount of money. So I feel that for a $60 game, and then you count in the $50 season pass, $40 to $60 season pass, I think comes out to $110 after everything's said and done. You know, so it's a lot of money. I mean, you're paying 1/5, 1/4 of the cost of a game system for one game that's pretty much only going to be worthwhile to be played for 1 year, and then after that, what are they doing with it? Nothing. It's not getting any support after that, so what's the problem? You know, the problem is, I don't like everything outside of the main game. And, you know, Black Ops 4, even though I did play the multiplayer on stream, I tried the Battle Royale, I checked it out. It was okay, but then you get microtransactions on top of that, and they're only for vanity items, but you're paying $1 for reticle stuff. This is what I'm saying. Like, games as a service is made to just rook you out of all of your money, and the amount of game you're actually getting, the ratio is just too skewed towards just them making a crap ton of money and you getting way less game for it. And by the time you get the full amount of the game, it's already by a point where there's no point for that game anymore anyway. You know, so I'd rather get a really good story experience, give me an okay multiplayer that I can play for a while, and, you know, we'll call it a day. The next year, when your next company makes the next game, we'll rock and roll with that. You know, so in thinking about this, I'm like, is this really a bad thing? So they decided to go with Treyarch. So we're you know, skipping Sledgehammer, which Advanced Warfare was, you know, my assumption from what I saw from the community was it did not do very well. It did not go over very well. I mean, that's why we have a term boots on the ground, right? You know, Advanced Warfare was going in a very different direction that I think the gaming industry as a whole kind of thought was like where it's going. But, you know, the way the maps work out and everything, it just didn't do very well. And me personally, I had no desire to play it whatsoever. I was like, well, Black Ops 2 was okay. I skipped Ghosts as well. I didn't have any desire for that one as well. You know, I was just like, all right, fine, you know, whatever. I did play Black Ops 3 on PC. It was okay. I don't like all the jumping, sliding, all that stuff. Like, I just want to have a shooter, you know, and let me skill by shooting you before you shoot me and having the best, you know, hand-eye coordination with the mouse. That's what I would like. So with all that happening, Infinity Ward, we got this year at least. Infinity Ward, they're gonna be making Modern Warfare, which it looks like that's gonna be bad too. So Activision originally switched things up, assigning Wisconsin-based support studio where they even take leadership role alongside Sledgehammer to make a Call of Duty game set during the Cold War. So they were gonna change it up again. Raven had worked on the map packs for Black Ops 3, the DLCs. They've been doing a lot of the support work anyway. It does suck for the fact that I haven't really been the biggest of fans of map packs over the years. I think that the majority of the maps really are small and not very complex and don't give for varying fight experiences, and since it has fewer ranging areas and fewer fight differential experiences, you know, it causes for like a very big similarity between all the matches you're going to play in a day, and you have these like general like 2-3 spots you're going to go to, and that's just where the fights keep on happening. And then if you start roaming around, maybe you can catch people on spawns, you know, so it makes for bad spawn placements and everything. So it just makes for a worse experience. So it does worry me to know that they would be in charge, but is this a bad thing? That's what I keep coming back to is this a bad thing? You know, the fact that we got, you know, Treyarch coming in to make the game instead of Sledgehammer and Raven, is it necessarily a bad thing? It's not saying that they're closing down Raven or Sledgehammer. It's saying that they're going to be working with Treyarch, and it looks like they wanted to make this game sooner rather than later because they knew that the Black Ops brand is probably going to be more likely to sell than the random Cold War brand that they were going to make, you know. That's what it's more so starting to feel like to me. Treyarch will take creative leadership on this new Black Ops, while Raven and Sledgehammer will serve as support studios for the game, transforming the work they've done on their own single-player story mode into a campaign for Black Ops 5. So it looks like they were making a story mode for the other games, so that intrigued me. I hadn't really seen what Raven's done. From everything I found out, it seemed more so that they were usually dealing with like online portions of the game and DLC stuff, whereas I hadn't heard them making any story stuff. And whereas with Sledgehammer, I think that World War II had an okay story. I don't feel it was terrible when I played through it. wasn't the worst story. I mean, it wasn't like it was like a Modern Warfare story from back in the day. It definitely wasn't a Black Ops story, but it was okay. So I was like, oh, maybe that'll be cool. So now it's starting to unfold a little more, I feel here. It's not that it was anything bad. It was just the fact that I think that just, Activision is thinking Sledgehammer and Raven aren't big draws for the game. Treyarch is hurting a little bit, and there was a big controversy over the fact that, there was no story in Black Ops 4 was something that was missing. So instead of separating the money flows of two different games separated by year, why not just shrink them down and make one big game with all the story and everything? You got all the companies working on one thing. So maybe it could be bad for these companies that maybe they're going to get a smaller piece of the pie because now you're splitting it to more employees, right? But I think that they feel that they'll make more money by being able to fit more into the game. So this could be maybe a good thing where maybe it seems like Activision's realizing we need to give more while asking for $60 or $110 with the season pass. We need to give story mode and multiplayer and zombies, and I'm sure they'll make another battle royale mode and all that jazz. Maybe this is a good thing. There's so many questions. Activision executives have started talk about embracing free-to-play as a revenue model. Then I got a little worried. Then I got a little worried. Offering free-to-play component for this year's new Modern Warfare. Then I got a little bit worried more that what is going to be the difference between free-to-play and pay-to-play? What could the difference be? The specifics may not be finalized yet. Some within Activision have remained resistant to the idea, so that makes me happy. Because I don't want to see AAA games go free-to-play. Because in a way, free-to-play is nice for a game that is a free-to-play game. You can expect less content from those games. Like, Fortnite has created a ton of content, right? But we're not expecting for them to make a second map, really. We're not really expecting too much. And they do change it up every season, and they're always adding something, taking something, like to the point where they're even in hot water with the community right now with the things they've added and the things they've taken and all the, they're always doing something. But it's a free-to-play game, so you don't expect a ton of stuff. But you definitely don't get the same experience that you would get even in a Call of Duty, even though maybe it's not the best experience, but, you don't get that. In February 2018, Kotaku broke the news that Sledgehammer's co-founder Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield had left the studio, although Activision spun it as a promotion, saying they'd take on new executive duties. It was very clearly an ousting. So it looks like, kind of the truth has hit the fan when you look at the releases here back from 2012 to now, almost 10 years here. You look at the two releases they've got. You got Advanced Warfare, then you got Call of Duty World War II. And I think that Call of Duty World War II was a pretty good title in comparison to Advanced Warfare and Ghosts here. It was definitely a step in the right direction. I would have been more interested to see what they would make with another go-around and maybe more influx of cash on their end. It would have been much more interesting. And they're just going with, Treyarch. Black Ops 2, very popular game. Black Ops 3, not very popular, but it is a Black Ops, and, people played it. People played it. I think there's still people that play it right now. And then Black Ops 4, it did have an okay multiplayer. The zombies weren't terrible. I didn't hate the game overall, but I feel that I paid a premium on something that should have been $40. I think that the game I got should have been $40. If they wanted a season pass, maybe another $40 for what they were offering. Rehashing old maps to me should not count as content. It should count as bonus free content. I don't think you could just slap a new skin on a map and then call it new and then ask me for money for it when I already paid you for that map back in the day. I'm paying you for a new experience, not an experience of old just with a better skin on it. That's not new to me. It's just a continuation. It's like playing a Blu-ray on a new high-definition TV to me. That's all it is. It's like, it's not really new. It's just different. So with all this being said, you know, everything I found, I tried finding maybe some of what the community said. So I found like a Reddit article where I like to see Raven Software get to make their own COD title and everything. And, you know, from reading through it, seemed like some people liked him, some people didn't. I saw a mention of DOS event in Modern Warfare Remaster, which is something that Raven made. I don't know what it is. I tried looking it up. I couldn't find anything on it. So if you know, please do let me know. I couldn't find anything on it. I kept on looking through. I think, yeah, so I'm a total Modern Warfare Remaster fanboy. I'm literally playing it right now, but Raven disappeared after Days of Summer. So it's like, is this the DOS? The community was literally begging for a Halloween update, asking for more support. Is that a motorcycle? Yes, that is. I apologize for the noise outside. There's kids on the block. There's motorcycle people in the neighborhood. I'm sorry. I apologize. So Days of Summer, I didn't even realize this earlier when I highlighted it. Maybe this is what it was. So they're looking for a Halloween update, asking for more support, more content, and they didn't even acknowledge it. We had to tweet at Activision, and this is 1 year ago. So what I'm thinking this is Activision kind of pulled them off, said, you got to work on this other game. We're making this new game, you and Sledgehammer. You got to work on the story mode. We need to put, like, because they're realizing with Black Ops 4, we didn't have a story mode in it. We got to get a story mode in this dang game. People are getting pissed about this. So they basically couldn't do anything with Modern Warfare Remastered here. Now that I realize this is the Days of Summer DOS thing that was mentioned before, I can't believe that didn't go in my head earlier. Golly gosh. But so that's why I think is what happened. So a year ago, they couldn't help support that. So it's like, I'm very conflicted. It looks like there's reasons to be worried. It looks like there's maybe it just is like a thing that's happening. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily good, but it's a thing that's happening. But either way, at least on the upside, in the next Call of Duty, well, not the next one, but the one after that one, there's going to be a storyline, there's going to be multiplayer, there's going to be probably a lot more content with 3 companies working on it rather than just the one, you know, or 2, and that could be a good thing. We do have some worries arisen from this about the free-to-play. Let me know how you feel about free-to-play. Is it worth coming to the AAA sphere like this? Do you think it would be less content in the long run? I do think it would be a lot less content if these games went free-to-play. I really do. I think we'd just get some multiplayer maps that'll be very generic and bland and, you know, just soaked of all kind of like goodness. But it really, when I read this article, it's like the title looks like Call of Duty 2020 in upheaval as Treyarch takes over. Come on. Upheaval is a company making a move. Just like I mentioned in the Epic Games thing, the company is looking at the community and they're clearly making a move here. They're trying to maybe make some moves to the good side so that they keep on making money, because the only thing that matters to these companies is money. And they got hurt in the money side. They expected more money with Black Ops 4. So it just shows that they went to their board, and the board was like, hey, why didn't we get the returns we wanted? We got to figure out something. And it looks like they're trying to figure out something. So upheaval, I don't know. But all right, I'll leave it at that. If you want, join me on Instagram, Twitter, Discord. You can join the Twitch. I don't know when I'll be streaming there again. Maybe if we build up a community, I'll go back and stream there for a time celebrate with y'all. I added 2 more links to the description. I have a little bit of merch. I'm working on a merch store. And I have crypto donations if you want to help keep the channel up. You do not have to do it. I really appreciate the view more than anything in the world. Like, it's been wild. Everyone that's kind of been joining on the YouTube here, it's been wild. 98 views, 48 views. Let's hit refresh on it, see if it's gone up some. Let's see. 98, no, it hasn't. It has. But it's wild. 565 views, 170 views, 182 views. Thank you everyone for joining, viewing, and everything. That to me is more than enough. But if you want to help support, there's crypto stuff there. I'm a big supporter of crypto. I believe in it. You should look into it. If you want to chat crypto, join us on Discord or talk to me on any social media. I'll be happy to chat about it. But I'll leave it at that. 24-minute video. I'm trying to keep them short. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, and follow if you dare.